Hello, hello. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit more Linux, where I'm going to show you a quick installation of an easy flavor called Manjaro and just the entire process on a virtual machine. Now, the actual virtual machines I'm not going to discuss too much. Just assume it's a computer inside a computer. We'll go with that for now. But if you're on Windows and you want to switch over to Linux, for example, there is this thing called Rufus, which you're able to take the file, put it onto a USB, stab that in the side of your computer, and able to boot it. I won't show that process today. That'll be a different video. But if you actually want to get the ISO file itself, you would have to go to the official website of the distribution. Okay, so we're going to head over here. We're going to go onto the website, and then under the download section will be the actual downloads itself. So now I mentioned an ISO file. That's like an image of the operating system, and you need to install this onto hardware or onto a virtual machine in order to play around with the OS itself. A lot of different Linux flavors support different desktop environments and different configurations of those desktop environments. A nice, simple, and easy one would be XFCE. That's the one I'm going to use. So you just click download. You can download it in a bunch of different ways. I just prefer the image version. And then you choose the location in which you want to download into. So I've actually got a separate thing here called Linux OSs. I click save. I've already got it, so I don't need this version, but that's where you would download it, and then you would just wait for it to download. Okay, excellent stuff. Since I already have it, we can move on to the virtual machine itself. So I'm using a virtual machine called VirtualBox. Again, details on this will be a separate video, but in order to get the machine working, I need to make it. So example, let's just call it Manjaro. Manjaro XFCE. I'll select the actual ISO file itself. There we go. Next. Then I get to select these settings would be your actual hardware computer itself. So if you have like 8 gigs of RAM, this would be an automatic thing. So, but because I'm using a virtual machine, I need to do it slightly differently. So I'm going to give it about 15 gigs of space, and there we go. There it is. And then I'm going to start running it. Okay. So when you first start the operating system itself, you would see this screen called the BIOS. Or this would be, no, this is after the BIOS, sorry. This would be like the initial installation screen. You have a few different options of changing your language and location here. And you also have the option between proprietary drivers or open source drivers. So proprietary means that you cannot see the code. Open source, you can see the code. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, chances are proprietary drivers is for you, because NVIDIA is a little tricky on Linux, to say the least. But if I will just go with the open source drivers, because I've got an AMD graphics card anyway, and this is a virtual machine, so it doesn't matter. Cool. So I'm just going to load that in. Let's get rid of that on the side there. And it is loading up. Fantastic. So when it's finished loading up, you'll see like the initial screen like you saw last time. And on this screen would give us the option to install, or you can even just play around with it using the ISO itself. There we go. And there we are. I'll make the screen a little bit bigger, just so we can see it a little bit better. 150 should be right. Cool. Excellent stuff. So here is the actual option itself, the actual window. In order to, let me just make that a little bit smaller, in order to install it. So there should be the option just down here. Ugh, okay. The screen's a little small, I can't be bothered to change it. You can also just click this button here to actually install it. Come on. There we go. Cool. So here's the actual install program. First of all, you just quickly swap the language over to something you prefer, like American English. Press next. You provide the time zone of where you want. This will also, I think this controls the mirrors as well. What are you doing? Be gone. So pick the time zone you want to go to. I'll just click Perth, Australia, just as an example. Then you choose your keyboard layout. There's a bunch of different options here, like Vietnamese, Uzbek, all of this stuff. But I'm just going to pick American. Should I go Australian? Yeah, I'll just go with Australian for now. So actually, yeah, Australian. So you click next, and then you get to manage the hard drive disk itself. You could even choose to have a swap. I'll explain what that is later on. And you get to explain the file system as well. So if you're just starting out and you're just trying it out, these options do not matter. You could just go no swap, exit4 or ext4, and you can just go with it. Cool. Press next. Grab your name. So example PC. I'm going to choose my very secure password, which is the same as the username. Don't do this. And then another thing you should not do for security reasons is have it as the same. But because this is a virtual machine and I'll delete it later, it doesn't really matter. You would be a lot more selective over your password and your username. Okay? Now you have the option to download a little bit of extra software. Because on a different video, I'm actually going to show you how to install software itself. I'm actually going to click no. I usually click LibreOffice, but for today, I'm just going to click no, click next, click install, install now. Fantastic. And we are on our way. So that is the entire installation process. Once that bar ticks down and you reboot it, then it's ready to go. Okay. So yeah, I guess there's not going to be any problems. I'm just going to wait until it goes to full, and then I shall show you how to download some software and stuff after the installation. Okay. Okay, so it's already gone to 100%, and then I get this screen. So usually, if you're on hardware, you would actually just click to restart and pull the thumb drive out in order to complete the installation. Today, I'm actually just going to go close like that and shut off, because I don't have a thumb drive to pull out, so I need to like go into here, click settings, storage, and actually remove it here. Yeah, that's the correct one. Cool. Remove. Okay, fantastic. And now I can start it, and it should be ready to go. Booting up, running. Okay, it's just resizing. And there it is. Nicely done, cool. And that is the full thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually sort out the resolution. So I can open up the desktop applications. Nope, it's not there, is it? It is inside here. System. Where is it again? Display settings, there it is. And then I can switch it to maybe 1600 by 1200. I think that's good. Keep. Make it smaller, 100. There we go, cool, much better. Now, the full Manjaro is complete. Next video, I'm going to show you how to get software on there. Thank you very much for joining me today. Have a lovely day, and I shall see you later. Bye-bye.